This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
Very in shock. I mean, this is such a traumatizing thing. It's traumatizing if they were closed, but they were open when this happened.
Tonight, the future of a popular sushi restaurant in downtown Nanaimo in doubt after an alleged impaired driver crashes through the front window.
What we really want to do is raise the shoulders even up, and that is a collective effort.
FIFA spillover, why island tourism operators say we won't see much action when the World Cup comes to Canada. Plus, Adam finds out how a girl who dressed as a Disney princess grew up to become an engineer who wrote a song about wastewater management. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. A Nanaimo business owner is reeling after an alleged impaired driver slammed their SUV through her sushi restaurant on Monday. Nana Sushi is now struggling with repairs and a loss of revenue as it tries to rebuild. CTV's Andy Garland shows us how the community is stepping up with a fundraising campaign to help the long-standing shop.
You know, you see some of the broken glass. That's where I guess one of the people were hurt.
The owner of that 50s barbershop shows the damage left behind after a car drove through his neighbor's business in downtown Nanaimo.
They're very in shock. I mean, this is such a traumatizing thing. It's traumatizing if they were closed, but they were open when this happened.
Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt when the driver plowed into the front of Nana's Sushi with his vehicle Monday evening.
The driver was suspected of being impaired by drugs. He was taken into custody, later taken to the hospital for treatment.
Nana's Sushi has been a staple in downtown Nanaimo's restaurant scene for a decade.
They're loved in the community. Everyone around here loves them. It's always such a busy place.
Too emotional to go on camera, the owner of Nana's tells CTV News the table and chairs inside were built by her and her father, and the restaurant is like a second home to the single parent of two who doesn't know if she has the financial ability to handle her restaurant being closed down until repairs take place.
I think, like most small businesses, you know, if you're closed more than a few days, sometimes that really affects your numbers.
The fact that the restaurant is basically destroyed, they've got to rebuild, and that's a shame. This is a busy time of the year, and this could have been prevented.
Help restore a cherished eatery after a devastating crash.
The owner's two children have created a GoFundMe campaign to help their mother get through this difficult time.
They need all the support they can, you know, just for the next few weeks. But I mean, this could go on for months. Hopefully Nanaimo comes out for that.
No charges have been laid yet against the driver, and Nana Sushi hopes to be serving up rolls as soon as possible. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
The FIFA World Cup is a few weeks away, and while most of the action in BC is happening on the Lower Mainland, you might think surrounding destinations like Vancouver Island will get some serious tourism spillover. Turns out tourism operators say that likely won't be the case. CTV's Anna McMillan explains.
Tourism groups on Vancouver Island say throwing a massive international sporting event on top of their already busy summer season likely won't result in an economic boom. With 7 FIFA World Cup matches in Vancouver this June, there's been speculation the island could see some trickle-down tourism.
Nanaimo, Cowichan, Greater Victoria will see a really strong start to the summer, regardless of the World Cup happening.
Tourism Nanaimo says it never anticipated major spillover. 3 weeks ahead of the World Cup, that's proving to be true, with the agency saying there's little evidence that spectators are expanding their trips to the island or that Vancouverites are skipping town to stay in the harbor city during the tournament. Still, there's at least one winner to be found in Hullo Ferries.
Tickets are selling extremely quickly. They are the most busy ticket sale days so far in June. We're anticipating sellouts.
Destination Greater Victoria is also not expecting a big tourism boost. Its CEO says by staying focused on our strengths, the region is not vulnerable to the vagaries of global mega events, which have a mixed track record for delivering on their tourism promises.
We know people are going to come.
That provincial promise is contradicted by hotel data for Vancouver. Bookings for June are down 20% compared to last year, according to Destination Greater Vancouver.
If you're not building new capacity, then at best, you're just going to replace one set of tourists with another.
While a World Cup bump might not come to fruition, Tourism Vancouver Island says there's still a major marketing opportunity.
What we really want to do is raise the shoulder season up, and that is a collective effort for the entire industry in the province, really trying to focus on inviting people to come at quieter times of the year.
He says a busy summer is a given, not because of the World Cup, but because of what Vancouver Island has to offer. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
And today we are getting a clearer picture of just how much Canadians are paying to host World Cup matches beginning next month. According to a federal report, taxpayers will spend more than $1 billion. And as CTV's Andrew Johnson reports, experts are questioning whether it's all worth it.
With the transformation of Vancouver and Toronto into World Cup cities just about complete, something else is also being unveiled thanks to Canada's federal budgetary watchdog. How much it's all going to cost, just over $1 billion to host 13 games in June and July.
That's a shocking amount of money, and when you do the math, it works out to nearly $1 million per minute of regulation game time.
Or roughly $82 million per game, which is actually less than Russia spent to host in 2018, Brazil in 2014, and South Africa in 2010. But one sports economist points out, with Canada co-hosting alongside the U.S. and Mexico, what we're paying for doesn't quite compare.
Well, we're not getting any of the major elimination matches. We thought that if we were hosting the World Cup, we would actually see something of consequence.
The report indicates close to $500 million for FIFA is coming from Ottawa, the rest from provincial and local governments, to pay for things like security, infrastructure, and stadium upgrades. FIFA estimates a multi-billion-dollar economic benefit for Canada. BC's premier last week predicted the tournament will bring 1 million visitors to Vancouver over the next 5 years. The mayor has led the charge.
This is an amazing opportunity. It's going to be a month-long commercial.
Critics claim otherwise.
I've been saying for 8 years now, give or take, that we were sold a false bill of goods, not by FIFA, but by our politicians.
How do Canadians feel? Well, the latest polling from Leger showed close to 3/4 of Canadians support hosting World Cup matches, but a majority indicated their biggest concern is taxpayer costs. And the final number isn't in yet. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver. 2026 is the farewell season for the Snowbirds until their jets are replaced. But this August, there will be one more chance to check them out as they hit the skies over Victoria. On Tuesday, August 4th, the team will be putting on a 40-minute show beginning at 5 o'clock along the Dallas Road waterfront. The Snowbirds have flown the iconic Tudor jets for the past 55 years. The aircraft will be retired and replaced, but the new jets won't be ready until at least 2030. This will be the last Vancouver Island show for some time, and it's expected to be part of an exciting week in the capital.
We usually have a crowd down there of almost 30,000. We're expecting equal, if not more, for this year. And it's going to be an exciting week in Victoria, just in general, with the David Foster show, with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police performances, the musical ride coming twice to the Saanich Fairgrounds. So it's going to be an exciting week.
The Greater Victoria Festival Society is still looking for a title sponsor for the event, as it says it's currently $50,000 short of its goal. A Victoria City Councillor is bringing forward a motion asking city staff to look into ways to reduce the amount of graffiti happening throughout the capital.
It's huge. It's everywhere. And I honestly don't know how much of an impact this will be, but I just refuse to not try.
Stephen Hammond says this is not a new problem, as all cities across the country have tried different measures to curb graffiti with varying degrees of success. He would like to see the sale of spray paint to minors restricted, and he'd like retailers in the city to keep the cans locked up in protected cabinets to stop would-be vandals from stealing the paint. Hammond says it costs the city of Victoria more than $500,000 per year to clean up graffiti, and that doesn't account for countless hours of volunteer time from local organizations. Last year, the Downtown Victoria Business Association says it removed nearly 15,000 bits of graffiti throughout the downtown core.
I'm asking staff to consider all the implications if we were to bring in those restrictions or maybe other restrictions that I hadn't thought of in order to reduce the amount of graffiti that goes on. And therefore, the hope would be to reduce how much volunteer and paid staff time people spend on removing graffiti. And because it's vandalism, and then also to reduce the cost of these kind of things.
Hammond hopes council will side with his position and that other neighboring municipalities will follow suit. It is possible to purchase spray paint online, although Hammond says a credit card is needed, and hopefully the parents of minors wouldn't support those purchases. Still ahead, made in Canada or maple washed?
It's not right. I want to know where it's coming from.
Classic situations of false representation.
Are you really buying Canadian? Some grocery stores are under scrutiny for misleading consumers.
Temperatures at 19 degrees at the harbor right now. 20 will go down as the daytime high for today. Should see a couple more days up around 20. We'll take a closer look at that and your weekend forecast right after the break.
Josh, very nice out there. It's going to stay that way for a bit at least.
Yeah, a couple of sunny and warm days on the way. I think there's a change in the pattern, though, as we make our way through the weekend. For most of the island, Sunday is going to be a handful of degrees cooler than Saturday. We had some clouds and some showers making their way through parts of the island as well. We'll get to that in a moment. 20 in Victoria at the airport. That's the daytime high for today. Nanaimo's at 20 as well. 23 in Port Alberni, into the mid to maybe even high 20s in and around Port Alberni over the next couple of days. You see the cloud cover arching up to the north. You've got a nice little upper ridge that's sneaking its way in from the southwest. So at the edge of that, we got a little bit of patchy cloud cover that's sliding its way across parts of the island, but most areas dealing with fairly clear skies through the rest of this evening and overnight. Tonight, as you'll see on Futurecast, there's 8 p.m., not much for cloud cover. There's 8 a.m. tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon, mainly sunny for most areas. You might see one or two little isolated showers pop up. I think most areas are going to stay fairly dry tomorrow, though. Breezy, gusts to about 40 or 50 kilometers per hour in the north tomorrow. Temperatures around average, about 16 for a daytime high, 14 or 15 for Friday, Saturday. You get a chance of some scattered showers Friday morning. Doesn't look like it's going to amount to much, but maybe a few hit and miss showers. Better chance for some showers or periods of steadier rain Saturday night into Sunday. And you can see the cool down there from the mid-teens on Saturday to about 10 or 11 on Sunday. Inland areas up to 26 or 27 for daytime highs tomorrow and Friday. Sunny with a few clouds popping up through the afternoon tomorrow, and then mainly sunny for Friday. Weekend looks good. Partly cloudy, 24 on Saturday. 16 is a big drop on Sunday under mostly cloudy skies, although that's only slightly a couple of degrees cooler than average. 18s on the west coast for the next couple of days. Some clouds tomorrow morning giving way to sunshine in the afternoon, and sunny again for Friday. Less of a cool down, but still a bit of a cool down between Saturday and Sunday. And breezy on Saturday as well. Gusts to about 40 or 50 kilometers per hour. Highs of 23 in Comox. We'll see some sunshine for most of the day tomorrow. A bit of cloud cover popping up in the afternoon. 23 and mainly sunny skies on Friday. Still up around 20 Saturday, but that cold front drops through and you're back around 15 degrees for daytime highs Sunday. Monday with a chance of some late day showers on Sunday. In Nanaimo, similar setup. Low 20s for Thursday, Friday, right around 20 with some sunshine to start the weekend Saturday, and then cloudier for Sunday with a chance of some late day showers and temperatures dropping a handful of degrees. We'll get to about 21 here in Victoria tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies. I think through the afternoon hours, more sun than cloud. Wind stays light through the day. Get to 21, maybe even 22 on Friday, and then gusts to around 40 or 50 kilometers per hour Saturday, especially later in the day as that cooler air starts to drop in. 20 ahead of the cool down, 16 and mostly cloudy skies on Sunday. So not terrible, not a real huge drop in temperature, but certainly warmer for the next couple of days than it will be into early next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Josh. Mark Carney was at a high-stakes meeting today in BC, pushing Ottawa's priorities, while at the same time, Premier David Eby voiced his concerns about Canada not working if separatist premiers get all the attention. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on the meeting.
The Prime Minister is a friend to British Columbia.
BC's premier struck a friendlier tone standing next to Prime Minister Mark Carney. It came a day after David Eby said Canada won't work if separatist premiers get all the attention, a reference to Alberta and Ottawa moving forward on the plan for a bitumen pipeline to the West Coast.
Developing our economy has to go hand in hand with environmental protection for the next generation, including the North Coast tanker ban. That is crucially important for British Columbians.
Carney pointed out 1/3 of the projects identified as in the national interest are in BC, and that the two leaders are on the same page. But an hour earlier at the Vancouver Board of Trade, Carney made it clear he's looking for partners, not pushback.
We don't want to hear what people are against. We want to hear what they're for. And if you're for something, we will get behind you.
Carney's challenge is to try and sell that message while balancing the competing interests of each province.
I think what he's doing is he's saying, look, we are going to establish rules that will propel forward major projects, create jobs, and generate benefits for each province, for each part of the country.
A part of that balance includes working with provinces like Saskatchewan to apply the industrial carbon tax. While Premier Moe refuses to collect the levy, he's open to discussions on it.
To see if we can come to some type of an agreement that works for industry and doesn't impact negatively the industries that are creating jobs and making investments just like this in this province.
Carney and Eby agreed to start negotiations on BC's economic priorities. However, the Prime Minister also told that Vancouver business crowd if things get stalled there, his government will spend time in the rest of the country because they need to move forward. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
A growing number of islanders are trying to buy local, but what if those products adorned with a maple leaf are potentially misleading shoppers? The federal government says complaints are rising across the country over the so-called practice of maple washing. That's when products and items made outside Canada are marketed to look Canadian. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says it's received about 400 complaints since early 2025 when the trade war heated up, and now the practice could be headed to the courts. A proposed class action lawsuit alleges some retailers used maple leaf branding in such a manner that it was misleading shoppers.
Classic situations of false representations or misleading advertising. The allegations in the lawsuit are clear that this was done to attract or touch on the sensitivity that many Canadians have shopping, especially in these times.
Of the big retailers, only Sobeys and Loblaw responded to a CTV News request. Both acknowledged some isolated incidents and say they worked quickly to fix them. Coming up, wastewater management music. Adam finds out how an engineer was inspired to write a song about what happens after you flush a toilet in Tofino. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
107.3 Virgin Radio is Victoria's #1 hit music station. Home of Bailey and Johnny in the morning. Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to 107.3 Virgin Radio everywhere.
Finally, Adam finds out the story behind an engineer who was inspired to write a song about the new wastewater treatment facility in Tofino on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When Sarah Reese was young, she felt like she was living in a real-life Disney movie.
Actually, I wore a Cinderella dress throughout my entire kindergarten, like every day.
And she would constantly carry around a toy tape recorder and microphone to sing along to all the songs from The Little Mermaid.
But also, she had dreams of being something bigger.
So Sarah paused performing until after she realized her dream of becoming an engineer specializing in wastewater.
It's super essential to human health.
Sarah was so passionate about working on her first big project, she decided to write a song about it.
Like, I know that most people, they just flush and no one ever thinks about it, so I thought this is a good opportunity.
So Sarah summoned up the courage to play her wastewater song at a local open mic night hosted by Jeff Johnson.
She came in the first time and I'm like, oh, this is a little bit weird.
But the next time, Jeff really listened to Sarah's thoughtful lyrics, really noticed the enthusiastic response from the audience, and pitched the possibility of making a music video.
There was a version of the video that had like laser sounds, zapping bacteria, and they would explode, little poop emojis dancing around.
But in the end, Jeff and Sarah chose to produce a more professional product.
Wastewater management, who's dealing with your...
And the girl who grew up wearing fairy tale dresses and singing about under the sea donned personal protective equipment to showcase the complex process of keeping human waste out of the sea.
Where the organics get eaten in a vat of bacteria.
After Sarah recorded the song in just a few takes, Jeff shot the video in about an hour.
Till we blast it with UV for disinfecting.
And while it's unlikely a song about number 2 will hit number 1 on the music charts, Sarah does hope, like those fairy tales with morals she loved, her and Jeff's work both entertains and educates.
For people to have at least heard once how their wastewater gets treated, I think it's more than many have heard before.
How cool it can be.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, North Vancouver.
It's a catchy tune. Well, that is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us.